listening to the award-winning WHCM 88.3 FM Palatine, Illinois, a broadcast station of Harper College and its Board of Trustees. You are listening to Streaming Verse with Chris and Nina here on 88.3 FM. Quick reminder before we get started, especially with this episode.
Yeah.
The thoughts and ideas presented on the show are our own and not necessarily reflective of the opinions of WHCM, Harper College, or its Board of Trustees.
And another reminder, I was like, I knew what I was going to say, but I forgot, so I went with and instead of
Nice.
And you can listen to us on the previously mentioned 88.3 FM and also harperradio.com anywhere in the globe. And you can also find us right now on YouTube Live. Just look for the Harper Radio channel on YouTube Live and join us in our conversation. First thing we're going to talk about is what we've been streaming, and we want to know what you've been streaming, so let us know. So, Nina, what have you been streaming?
All right. Well, I streamed... Actually, I want to talk about this first. So, there is a super cool series on YouTube. They've only released the first 2 episodes. They're really, really good, and it's indie filmmaking.
Mm-hmm.
And it stars my super cool, awesome friend Kirsten, who plays like almost a Natasha character.
No.
Yeah, like it's crazy.
No.
It is crazy. It's called Renegades, and apparently the 3rd episode is in works. But I'm really excited about it. She had this like voice distorter thing, because it's like really well done, and she had this voice distorter thing, and she kind of sounded like Taskmaster or like Darth Vader, or I don't know why those two comes to mind. Well, 'cause she was wearing a mask, that's why. And she's like, dude, that was really loud, sorry. And it was so awesome. So I definitely would recommend everyone check out Renegades
All right, on YouTube.
What have you been streaming, Chris?
Well, before I share what I've been streaming, I will just jump in, and I bet this is your mother.
This is my mother.
4 seasons on Netflix, and really enjoying it, which I haven't started that yet, so I'm happy to hear that.
Yes, I heard all about it on the car from the train.
Okay.
It seems good.
Good. Yeah, it looked good. I have been streaming You.
Woo!
I've been also not streaming it because I don't want to ingest it too quickly.
Right.
But here's what I found fascinating. And I don't know if I mentioned this with Erin last week when she was on the show, but Nina, it scared me. He is so evil in this, and I'm watching it, and I don't know if you remember, but the only reason I started watching is because we were going to meet him,
Right.
friend of the show, Penn Badgley.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
So... And I'd listened to other things, and and at that time, I guess I had seen him in all these other characters, so I didn't think much about it. But I haven't seen him act in anything recently.
Right.
So watching You, I'm like, he's really evil. And I know he's acting. That's not my point, but you're bringing it out of yourself.
Right.
So I was like, is he as nice as we thought he was? I'm really nervous. And I just happened to see a Instagram post that he did. And he was charming and delightful. I'm like,
Yeah, he's fine.
All right. He's still wonderful.
It's so crazy when people like that take on roles like that, because that just shows how good of an actor you
Right.
are. Because, I mean, I always bring up the Ariana Grande as Glinda. Like, she's fabulous in that role. She's awesome in Wicked. But is she really acting that much? Because she's kind of just like that.
Yeah.
She's very bubbly and like very. So is she really acting? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right.
So with Penn, that just shows what a. Oh my God! Don't even say Penn Badgley in my presence.
2 messages on your phone.
I thought that was his voice. I was like,
Oh, that's so funny. You thought. So what have you been streaming? What else have you been streaming?
I have been streaming Owl House on Disney Plus. It's animated, and I've only watched 1 episode of it. So, but I've heard a lot of good things about it. The first episode was awesome. It's
Okay, I have to ask before you go any further.
yes.
Is it for children or is it for all ages? Because Owl House sounds like it's like Barney.
No.
The way
it's
Disney and Owl House, that's what I jumped to, so I wanted,
It's
just checking.
no, it's considered horror.
Oh, so no, not at all.
I mean, I don't know how much horror it is, but it's considered, let's see, horror, fantasy, family, drama, comedy, children, animation, adventure, action, mystery. Okay, so TV Time thinks it's everything.
Okay. Maybe TV Time can't decide.
I don't think it can. But so far it's really cute. This like girl's getting sent to summer camp, and then she stumbles into the Owl House, and it's like this like witchy. It's like this witch is like, oh, I just need you to do this for me, and then you can leave. Like basically holding her captive, and she's like, okay, because she doesn't want to go to summer camp, and apparently it gets super queer. Which I'm looking forward to, and I watched it and I was like, oh, this is so relaxing and cute, such a fun thing to like unwind to. Each episode's 24 minutes.
Perfect.
And I was vocalizing this because I watched it with my friend Kirsten, and she was like, no, it gets intense, like you will not be going to sleep to this. And I was like, really? So I'm excited to continue. It's very witchy and strange, and I really like the animation style, and I feel like other than Disney, other than Disney, actually, I don't really know if I can say this because I do watch a lot of children's media, but
That's why it was a fair question that
It
I
is a
asked.
fair
That was,
question.
that's what I figured. It's
absolutely. But when it comes to series, I think like the most recent animated thing I watched outside of Disney was like Harley Quinn, which I still have to catch up with the next season. But I loved that so much, and this obviously is still on Disney, but I really like it. I can't wait to watch more of it.
awesome.
What else have you been streaming, Chris?
Well, I've been doing, I don't know what's happening to my brain, but I've been able to listen to more podcasts and books in the past few weeks.
All right.
And I've wanted to watch less streaming.
Yeah.
So I haven't been watching as much as listening. So there's a podcast called Stuff You Should Know. Have you ever heard of this one?
Yeah.
Okay. And I think our show is very similar to theirs, completely different topics. And I'm like, why aren't we famous like them first? That's what I have to say. Because they're kind of just having a conversation. They're about 70% prepared for their conversations.
Oh, okay.
We're there. Exactly. It's like, we got this. Anyway, so I've been listening to a lot of their podcast recently, and I'm learning all about like MI6 and some of these spies that used to be around, and then they just did one on fentanyl. So I also feel like
Yeah.
I'm entertained and getting smart at the same time, which is
Yeah.
my favorite way to learn anything.
Yeah.
And for our topic, I'm actually going to dive into one of their episodes.
Ooh, fun.
So, because I did a lot of internet searches after listening to one of their episodes.
That's awesome. I love that and hate that at the same time, those podcasts, because then there's isn't there a Netflix series on it too?
They did have a video component at one point, but I'm not I don't know if they're still doing it or what it's called or anything, but
Yeah.
there was a video component.
It's similar to also like How This Is Made.
Yes.
Or like Drunk History.
Yeah.
So then I watch it and then I like know so much about like the screwdriver.
Right.
And then I'm like, if that is brought up in a sentence, I'm like, I know. And then I go into the history of everything that I learned, and everyone around me is like, nobody asked. Like, nobody wants to know that.
Get ready for part 2 of our show, because
I'm so excited.
that's what I'm about to do, because I Googled the heck out of this.
But I love that. Like, I love when people like are like, oh, I can tell you the history of the doorknob. Do you want to hear it? I'd be like, yes.
Please.
Lay it on me. Are you kidding me? Like, I love that kind of stuff. And I love expelling that kind of stuff, but it's like a love-hate relationship, because I'm like, oh, I'm learning things. This is so great. But then I go to open my mouth and everyone's like, no one wants to hear that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but you're going to sit and listen.
I'm going to repeat this 8,000 times.
Yeah,
Be prepared.
absolutely.
I have one other thing that I'm streaming that I'm super excited about.
Okay.
Poker Face Season 2 is back today.
Oh,
The first 3 episodes are available. I've watched one. I couldn't help myself.
Oh my gosh.
During lunch, I decided I'm more. And it's funny because, of course, then, as our topic is, I, of course, was doing searches on it.
Right.
Especially in Reddit. And people don't like it. There are people who don't like it for multiple reasons. And I'm like, to me, it's not mindless, but you know what I mean. It's very lighthearted entertainment. Yes, somebody is going to die, and I'm not giving anything away. This is the formula. It's Columbo. I mean, not Columbo. God, why can't I think of his name? It just left me. Peter Falk was the character. He was that detective. Maybe it is Columbo.
Hang on.
I could actually be right. I'm having just one of my brain ticks right now.
Did you say Benjamin?
No, Peter Falk.
Oh, he doesn't even come up as the cast. There's only 2 people listed on cast as on TV time.
Hold on, Peter.
Sorry.
Oops, Falk.
Poker Face.
Yeah, it's him, right? Yeah, it's him. Okay, got the right guy. By the way, he was also the grandfather in The Princess Bride.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It is Columbo. I was right. It is
Nice
Columbo.
job.
Okay.
That's good.
Right on the back here. So she's like Columbo. You know who the murderer is at the beginning, and then she comes in, but she has special powers where she can tell if you're lying.
Yeah.
And Cynthia Erivo is the first guest.
Oh, that's so exciting.
Yes. And I just think it's cool that all these famous people want to be part of the show because they're all lining up going, I want to do this. And so I always think about it as everyone's having fun while they're doing this, which makes me enjoy the show more.
Absolutely.
This isn't anything that's going to upset me. There's going to be a bad person, but we're going to have fun with this experience.
Yeah.
So I enjoy it because it's just... It's almost like your digital hug, like I used to say about Ted Lasso.
Aw.
So it's back, and I strongly encourage everyone to watch it because it's amazing.
That's so awesome. Before we take a quick break, I do want to say that there was an announcement made about Prima Facie.
Yes.
Cynthia Erivo will be playing her in a movie.
Ooh, that'll be interesting.
It'll be very interesting. I saw that, and I was like, oh. They're first of all, they're making it into a movie.
Yeah, I know that's gonna be interesting because the whole point is that it's a one-woman play.
Yeah, and it's really well done like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know how I feel, but Cynthia Erivo.
Right, exactly.
So.
Yes. All right, so you are listening to WHCM 88.3 FM, Palatine, Illinois, a broadcast station of Harper College and its Board of Trustees. This is Streaming Verse with Nina and Chris, and we're going to read a couple of PSAs, let you know what's happening around Harper right now, besides the fact that graduation is knocking on our door. Classes are winding up, and if you need to, you better get signed up for those summer classes. All right, I filled in all the time.
Yes, you did great. Thank you. All right. Ukrainian Film Series. The Mass Communication Program proudly presents the Ukrainian Film Series. Come explore Ukraine through various films, including Stop Zemila.
That's already happening, so it doesn't matter. We're on the last one.
Right. What am I thinking?
Just skip ahead.
So tomorrow, the last film of this series is playing, which are My Thoughts Are Silent. The film is free and open to the public. Screenings will take place Friday, tomorrow, at 6:30 p.m. in Harper College Film Lab, which is in Building E, room 109. Please keep in mind seating is limited to 52 people per screening, and run times and ratings may vary. Come enjoy a great lineup of films, and everyone is welcome.
Awesome. Great job.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's been fun seeing the films. All right. Did you just turn it to a long one?
No, I skipped the long one.
Okay. I figured you flipped the page and went, yeah, let's see how she does with this one. Did you know that Harper has a new program for the 2025-2026 academic year? The Infinity Initiative for Neurodiverse Students, formerly known as the TAP and ACES programs, is designed to support neurodivergent students as they transition from high school to college and work towards a degree or certification at Harper College. The application deadline for the fall 2025 cohort is July 18th, 2025. For more information, go to Harper College Sorry, let me say that again. Go to harpercollege.edu/ADS under the New Student tab. I like the Infinity Initiative for neurodivergence. Like,
Yeah.
yes, to infinity and beyond, people. Let's go. Exactly. And we are back with Streamyverse.
Welcome back.
And just a reminder, the thoughts and ideas presented on this show are our own and not necessarily reflective of the opinions of WHCM, Harper College, or its Board of Trustees. Do you want to do the show description, what we're talking about?
Sure. Okay. Breaking! Streamyverse. Search history has been leaked. Chris and I are exposing. I'm not an actor.
But you're doing awesome. I am enjoying this so much.
Our search history has been leaked by our own doing. For what? For your entertainment, because we thought it would be funny and we're gonna do it. So, we're gonna be going into the deep dive of some of our internet searches, but they are pertaining to streaming. So it's not like, why is my pinky turning purple when I hold it like this, like that, those stuff,
Right.
we're keeping those out.
And I don't know about you, but I didn't select ones that had to specifically do with the show. I
no.
picked the ones outside of that.
Yeah.
Now, it may be about a show that I've talked about in the This Is What I've Streamed, but it's none of our topics.
Oh, no.
Everything I picked was, which makes it worse, I think. It's like, wait a minute, this wasn't even show prep. This was, my brain is now bugging about this, so I need to know more.
Yeah. Literally. Yeah, mine are kind of crazy, and they're going to be all over the place. This is a very ADHD-friendly show. You'll get a deep dive into our minds, which I don't know if you want. I don't know why you'd want that, but you're welcome. So should we jump right in?
Yeah, let me share my weird one first.
Okay.
Because it's not really the topic, but it's quasi the topic. Quasi. So I just thought this was funny as I was going through my search history, because I went to go load the show Matt was on last week. So I went to go load it.
Right.
And I'm like, I don't remember what I named it. So literally I searched Moto Matt Returns because I knew those words were in the title. And it does scare me a little bit how easily searchable we are if you know the right words.
Yeah.
And that's all it took. Moto Matt Returns, first thing was our show, was on
Like a
YouTube.
Star Wars title. Star Wars, Moto Matt
It
Returns.
was actually The Return of Moto Matt. I found it so I could name it appropriately, but
Awesome.
I was still like, yeah, of course my search history has me searching for my own show that I should know the title to. All right.
Awesome.
What did you what do you have to expose about
Okay.
your search history?
I'm going to start with a good one because I searched this and I sat back and I was like, my entire life is a lie. And I felt so stupid. I immediately closed my laptop and walked away. And I might have to do some explaining here. So I searched Google Translate for English to Sokovian. It turns out turns out Sokovia, where Wanda Maximoff in the Avengers is not a real place, and the language she speaks is not real, and I didn't know, and I set out on an adventure to learn said language and realized that it wasn't a real country, it wasn't a real language. I don't know what happened, why I just so blindly was like, yeah, of course.
I just want to interject. I didn't know that either, so I'm not
Okay, thank
necessarily
God.
laughing at you for not knowing that. I'm laughing at you for because we all would have felt the same way when we realized we're complete idiots. And go, whoops.
Oh my god. I literally closed my laptop And then I message my friend Kirsten, who loves Marvel too. And I'm like, dude, did you know? And they're like, yeah, I found out a while ago. But like, if it is a country, here's where it would be located. I'm like, that's so intelligent.
Which means they looked it up, though.
They definitely
Which
looked it
means
up.
they searched. So at one point they
Yes.
did not know.
Yes, because they were like, yeah, I found out a few years ago. I'm like, okay, but I'm 22, and I just, and it's not even that I was like, oh, is this a real country? No, I fully believed it. I wanted to learn the language that doesn't exist.
Well, you know, people have learned Klingon, so
I learned Kryptonian.
see?
I used to be able to write in it. I don't
Yeah.
think I can do that anymore, but I figured start off with the bang. That's
Seriously, though, that's kind of what this is. It's like, who am I? How crazy am I?
I need to be studied. Put me in a lab.
Yeah. I don't know, to start out with a long story or just a weird, funny one. On all my fun search history here, because there's a lot. So, okay, this is just stupid. This
Okay.
is the, what did you just do with 20 minutes of your life?
Right.
So it was a reel that prompted this.
Okay.
No, it wasn't. Sorry. This was Reddit. Asked a television question. They're popping up in my feed now, even though I'm not part of it, the television subreddit. And the question was, like the best ending. So everyone was naming the best endings and stuff like that.
Oh, like, got it.
So, and this is what I found in my search history, because this is where we're starting. Like that was, like you, that was my setup. So someone had put in there, I don't know if it's the best ending, but this was one of the best scenes, is Scrubs, when Dr. Cox's friend died. And I'm like, well, I've watched Scrubs. I didn't watch all of it, but I've watched Scrubs. And so then I had to go find the video. And then I like searched 3 different times to get the right video to watch, because I didn't want to watch the first one that I saw. I had to search again. And it's
Yeah.
actually a really good scene. And all this is, I'm giving away all spoilers. The rest of the show, you're going to get spoilers, but it's all old stuff.
Yeah,
So
it's
if you
been
don't
out
know,
forever.
deal with it. So what it was is that Dr. Cox's friend had previously died, and everyone was talking about, see, like you're talking about, I now know this and can talk to anyone about this
Absolutely,
because I've
yeah.
done so much research on this.
Right.
So his friend Ben was played by Brendan Fraser, who I actually like as an
Fraser,
actor. Yeah. So he always had this camera around his neck so he could always take a picture in case anything happened. He would get a picture of it. Well, in this scene, which is the last scene, I didn't watch the whole episode, he doesn't have the camera around his neck, and it's because he ended up being admitted to the hospital. I think he had leukemia, but he never took care of himself, which was part of his character. But Dr. Cox had been talking to him for 3 days. And then someone says, you're a little Ben, the dead guy, says, you're a little overdressed for this. And then JD was behind the doctor and said, what do you mean? And that's when he realized his friend has died, and he was there for his funeral. So I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Wow.
You know, like that was good though. Like I'm glad I saw it.
Yeah.
And then there was when the cast of The Good Place found out that they were an
Yeah.
evil place. So I watched that.
That's good.
And then there's the end of Breaking Bad, which I started Breaking Bad. I didn't stick with it because it got really violent. That's first season's really
Yeah.
violent. So I stopped watching it, but my son was watching it. So I was kind of always in the room when he watched it, but I
Yeah.
didn't really watch it.
Right.
So apparently the end of Breaking Bad is mimicked off of the end of the Bob Newhart show. Do you know about either of those shows, like the endings? You know what I'm talking
No.
about? Okay. So there used to be a show called the Bob Newhart show, like in the 70s.
Yeah.
It ended.
I've heard of it.
Right. But yeah, it ended. Then there was another show, the Newhart show, which was a different scene with both, of course, starred Bob Newhart, but it was different cast. They ran like a B&B in Vermont. The very last episode, he wakes up in bed, but he's next to the wife from the Bob Newhart show. And he goes, I just had the weirdest dream that I was running a B&B in Vermont. So that's how they tied it back to the original show, which was hysterical. Everyone loved it.
Oh
One
my
of the best
God.
endings. Well, Breaking Bad did that. So Breaking Bad stars, and of course I didn't write down his name because I know his name. So
I can see him in my face.
I, of course,
I
can see
can
him.
see him in my face.
Is it Brian? Is it? I just got what you said.
What is going on?
He was Hal. How can I not remember his name? We're both like,
He's
see,
bald, right?
no. Well, he is a part of Breaking Bad. He is.
Okay, maybe I don't see him in my face.
Bryan Cranston. Yeah, it was Brian. Bryan
Oh.
Cranston. He's bald, like in part of like
Yeah.
Breaking Bad. And so Bryan Cranston, of course, was the dad of Malcolm in the Middle. And then, of course,
Yeah.
he was in Breaking Bad, so they did the same thing for the end of Breaking Bad.
Oh.
And had him wake up in bed with Lois, who was his wife in the other series.
Oh my God.
But it's just like, why did I decide I needed to know all this? Why did, again, like 20
Yeah.
minutes of my life, but now, like you were just talking, literally, now, anytime this can pop
Yeah.
up in a conversation, hey, did you know? Did you know this happened? Oh, you watch the whole series? No, I didn't watch the whole series, but I know this.
Yeah. No, literally, like, I couldn't tell you what their name is, but I can
Right.
tell you all this lore about it. Oh my God. So funny. Okay, where do I go to next? Well, this was last night, which is quite funny considering I was not even thinking of, like, my search history, because, like, I searched it and then was like, interesting. So it's no secret that I read fan fiction. Who cares? If you're judging me, get a life. Have some fun. Sorry. So on AO3, on Archive, here I go again. On Archive of Your Own, you have to, if you want to make an account to like write or bookmark or, you know, comment on a lot of stuff, you have to be invited, and there's like this long wait list, like thousands. You can see the wait list. It's very ridiculous. So I'm leaving my advanced fiction class where we're writing, not fan fictions, because it's kind of a no-no in creative writing departments. I wonder why. So I'm in the elevator, and someone was like, I have to wait till the 17th to get my invitation for the AO3, because they tell you. It's crazy. So I'm like, oh, I'm on AO3, and they're like, can you send me an invite? And I was like, oh yeah. And then this other girl was like, oh, me too. And I was like, I got you. So then I'm doing all of this research. I'm like, how do I invite someone on AO3? And it's like, it's not answering my question. And I'm like, please, how do I invite someone on AO3? And then finally, after like 10 searches of like I see the invite button, but how do I do it? They're like, oh, we don't have this feature anymore. And I was like, ugh. So then I had to message them and be like, I just spent like an hour trying to figure this out, and I'm so sorry. You have to wait till the 17th.
Wow.
Yeah.
But yeah, you wasted
But yeah, I wasted a lot of time when I could have been reading fan fictions on AO3, searching how to send an invitation code. So if you use AO3, apparently that's not a thing anymore. Unless you have a pre-existing invitation code on your
Oh,
account,
gotcha.
you can send it. But I don't know how those were.
That's weird, though. I mean, did that many people want to come into it?
Yeah.
Or, wow.
It's to control bots and stuff.
That actually makes sense.
So it's really nice, and
Oh,
it's
because
worth it.
a bot controller could get it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. Get ready.
Uh-oh. I'm so ready.
This is the Stuff You Should Know episode that I listened to. It was on Muzak.
Okay.
Do you guys know what Muzak is?
I thought you were just saying music
Specifically.
funny. No? Okay.
I need to write this down because I need to mark this time, but I also want everyone to know that you are listening to WHCM 88.3 FM, Palatine, Illinois, a broadcast station of Harper College and its Board of Trustees.
What are you marking?
When you said that,
Oh, great.
because it was the most awesome thing anyone could have ever said.
I'm so glad.
Not that you don't know what music is, the fact that you just thought I was saying music funny, that's why I like it. Yeah, that not the other part. So, music was invented in, and I'm not going to get every fact straight, but like
Okay.
1930.
Yeah,
And
I was not
actually
there.
was the first subscription program. Like,
Oh.
the guy invented it and found a way to put music over wires. So he found a way to pump in music to people's homes. This is before radio was
Mm-hmm.
common, through like their electricity.
Oh, okay.
And
genius.
music specifically, not like popular music, but popular music that someone else has recorded. So it could be as either like, so back then it would be jazz, but someone else would record it, you know.
Yeah.
But that failed because radio came out around the same time.
Oh, radio.
Oh, radio. Anyway, so I'm listening to this whole episode, so music typically, and I have to say this so you understand where my search went. So in like the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, probably ended either late 80s, early 90s. Whenever you went to a grocery store or retail store, you'd hear music, but it wouldn't be like with lyrics. You would hear like a song that you recognize, but there was no voice.
Wait,
Do you remember that?
would you hear music or music?
Music. Like it was
Oh.
a specific brand of music. So it's music, but it's like blues. Blues is music, but it's
Yeah.
blues. So this is music, but it's music,
Okay.
which
okay.
is no lyrics and created to set an environment. So like
elevator music.
yes. That's
Okay.
another, you could, yes, so elevator music. But like for your job would buy one program to keep you motivated. And on 15-minute cycles, they would play music to keep your mood elevated. And at a grocery store or a department store, it was curated so that you would stay there longer and go shopping. Be positive, but keep shopping.
That makes sense.
So yeah, so like elevator music, and just like you said with the elevator music, a big thing in the 80s when people were really getting sick of music, they would make fun of it. And,
Yeah.
and there would be like in the Blues Brothers that scene where they're just standing there in the elevator. Anyway, so I'm listening to this whole episode, and we've also talked about, and I'm not sure what it's called, but the music that they do for studying.
Yes.
What's that specific? Do you remember?
No.
Um,
Music used first. I'm gonna look it up.
So after that episode, I would do search histories, and here it goes. So between what you and I were talking about, the type of music where on YouTube you can go pull up a video and the sounds are specifically curated to like, oh, it's raining, oh, it's the afternoon, oh,
Yeah.
there's a fireplace, those types of things. So
Lo-fi and ambient music.
yes. So here's my search history.
Oh God.
Grocery store, 1970s. Yes, there's a specific one just for that. And I was like music in the 80s, and I found an environment in 1981, and it just plays music. I've actually been playing this like when I'm working now.
That's awesome.
And with the type of music you were talking about, the lo-fi stuff, I've been searching Paris Cafe Shop Jazz, Lakeside on a rainy day.
I love it.
I'm getting so like specific. Cafe in the afternoon, and then I'd get something. I don't like that one. It's crazy. You could do this but every single thing
Yeah.
has something.
Yeah, it's insane.
But sometimes I didn't like the images that on
Yeah.
them for those. So I'm like, nope, can't listen to this one.
Yep.
I need another one. And then I actually used Shazam
Shazam.
while I was listening to the the grocery stores in the 70s, which is so cute. They literally have all of these pictures of people grocery shopping in the 70s.
Aw.
In fact, I wanted to play this. Let me see if I can play this real quick right now. And this was my plan the whole time, was to play it on my phone. So this is not poor planning. This is exactly what the plan was from the get-go.
I love it. Do, do, do. Sorry, I'm just filling silence.
Let's see if it'll come up quickly though here. Yes, because I want everyone to hear this. Oh,
It's in your glasses, isn't
it's
it?
in my glasses.
You looked at me like, I was like, oh God.
It's not. Oh, this isn't playing the ad. One of them starts with the shop. I'll stop it because that's not playing what I wanted it to play. It starts with the ShopRite ad, and it's advertising to the woman while she's shopping.
Nice.
You can make the meal. You can do this. You can go home and, because you know your wife, she wants to feed her hungry family. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to
God.
strangle somebody.
Ah.
But yeah, so I was just like, I am crazy because, again, how much time did I spend like searching for all this crazy stuff?
No. Yeah. Yeah. You want to talk about crazy?
All right, let's go. I want to hear
I
it.
think I had a moment. No, I was on Pinterest. This started because someone mentioned to me a specific era of Chuck E. Cheese. Because there is specific eras.
Yes.
Because like before, like, because they had to take the animatronics away because of Five Nights at Freddy's, and like, it has like digressed over the years. But that was brought up. Then in my mind, that opened my other tab in my brain. I almost poked myself in the eye to like, oh, childhood, like makeup from Claire's Injustice that was probably really toxic that I just ate, you know? And so I'm like, oh, childhood, hiding, like trying to sleep in my closet for no reason other than I could. And then I remembered specifically in my closet there was this game, and it was this stick game, and I didn't know what it was called because it came in like those like packs like with other games, like if there was like a Disney princess theme, like it was like a small lunch box.
Oh, yeah,
And-
yeah, like travel games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it came in stuff like that, and we had another one that was different colors, but I never saw the packaging because it's probably ripped to shreds, and I don't think we have it anymore. But the game was basically like these tiny little sticks, and the ends of them, they'd like actually be kind of sharp, but you'd like drop them, and then you'd have to like pull them up without moving any of the other ones. It's like Jenga, but with like super thin, small plastic sticks.
I am a child from the 70s.
Do you know?
This was our game.
Yeah. So I loved it. I loved this game because you could play it by yourself.
Right. Like, yeah.
And so I was like, it was driving me crazy that I didn't know what this was called. So I searched stick game. Obviously, you don't want to search that because, like, that's just not something you search. So then I search stick game in 2000s. Doesn't help me. Then I search stick game in 2000s, plastic primary color, thin sticks, kind of pointy. Then I found them. And I couldn't tell you what they're called. I did not remember the ending of that.
Ours was more, I don't know if we had the same flair. You know what I mean? Ours was literally pick up sticks. That was the game. Pick up,
Yeah.
like it was sticks. You just, without moving the other ones, pick
Yeah.
up sticks.
I mean, that's essentially what it
Same
was.
with jacks. Did you ever play jacks
Yeah.
as a kid? Yeah.
It was a little confusing for me.
Well, I just did you bounce the ball, pick up one, bounce the ball, pick up two,
I remember
three. That's all I ever did.
someone from my school, an elementary school, brought it, and they were like, I'm going to teach you how to play this. And I was like, okay. And then they started, and I was like, that's too complicated. And I just, like, walked away. Like, I just gave up instantly. Which is so stupid because it's really easy.
You're like, there's counting involved. I
Yeah.
don't think so. I don't know if that's it. I'm sure there's
Probably.
other games, just like solitaire. There's multiple games of solitaire. I'm sure Jax is the same way.
Yeah.
I can't remember them all, so I just stick with the one I know.
Yeah. I don't know.
Okay, I have another one.
Okay.
Okay.
Go for it.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
As we've discussed in the past couple episodes, I'm getting into playing with my Switch. and I've really enjoyed playing The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, so I was looking into getting it.
Yes. That's so exciting.
And
Oh no.
the internet is such a scary place, but there's so much information there.
Yeah.
Can you have a physical game with a DLC? Was one of my first searches.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
like then I also remember before that I had to learn what it's DLC, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Digital. Yeah. But I had to learn what DLC was
Right.
first.
Yeah.
Download content for those playing at home. Like
Yeah.
I didn't know downloadable, right?
Yeah.
And so yeah, the answer was yes. Is the DLC worth it? I found out for Zelda, it is not worth it though for Breath of the Wild. Some people said it was made it like harder, like really hard.
Well, it adds more challenges, but I like it because it like extended the game.
That's true. But, yeah. So, World Edition versus Import version versus region free versus US version. There's 8,000 versions
know.
of this game.
There is.
I mean, and I probably have 10 searches in different ways of import versus region free, US version versus world version, all the versions.
And like, there's probably minor
Even
differences.
playing the game. Like, and most of them, like, of course, with the region free, you're fine, but most of them say your only issue is if you might not get points for it. If you're not playing one that's in your region.
Oh, for like the Nintendo store.
Yeah, the Nintendo store. You might not get points.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, I'm not even playing the game. I'm searching about playing the game, but not playing it. Oh, there was something about new play. Oh, and then that was it, you know. Of course, I got really deep into what is happening now with Nintendo and the virtual cards.
Oh my god, the update killed me.
And right, in that update, yeah, and a lot of people, their OLEDs froze. So I had to make sure mine
my
didn't
God.
freeze, which it didn't. Thank goodness. Yeah,
Yeah.
with the update, it completely like froze them.
Yeah.
Some of the OLEDs. The update, did you damage too?
It-
Or caused you harm?
Yes, it personally caused me harm. No, it caused my parents harm because so they have their own Switch because my brother took the main one when he left for school, and my parents were like, "Where are we gonna play sports now?" So one night after he left, it was like 10 o'clock at night. We run to Target and we buy one. I don't know, but all of the games were bought under or downloaded under my account.
Right.
That way I could access them on my Switch Lite, Deegan could access them on his. Well, my Switch last week was downtown. I was here. I wanted to play this song pop game with my parents. You would like it. You like
Okay.
guess the song. It's so
Ooh.
much fun, and there's different playlists. Oh my god,
I
I'm
need
obsessed.
to get, like, do your parents have accounts?
Yes,
I need to get some so we can play the
Yes.
sports games, but the song pop. Okay.
yes. I'll try and get that to you tonight if I remember. But I went to open it, and it's like, no. Because it's a virtual like chip or whatever, you have to bring my Switch close to it, and there was no other way around it. So I was Googling trying to figure that out, and they were like, no, you just have to do it. And I'm like, so my parents have to wait a week until I'm home again to play any games. How are they gonna survive? And not that they play that often,
Right, yeah.
but
still,
It's
it's,
really
a thing.
annoying.
Yeah, and like you said, you have to be like physically near someone.
Yeah.
And most people, because I was, like I said, I was doing all this research on it because again, I went down that rabbit hole. It's families
Yeah.
where the main one ends up becoming the family one, but like someone who travels has the second one.
Yep.
And both have their IDs, but then they can't download something because it's not the primary one.
Right. Or you have to like, I've lost data. Like, I've lost over 100 hours of Animal Crossing because of like the different switches and the accounts, and like I've had to restart games. Like, it's just like
Yeah.
infuriating.
Yeah, they're locking it down way too much, especially with the family situation.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, I even read people who just on their own have 2 switches because,
Yeah.
like, they leave one docked all the time and they have, like, the smaller
light,
switch or
yeah.
the light for traveling and stuff like that. And they're like, yeah, it's really just me and I'm still having this issue.
Yeah.
And that's when I was reading, again, more of my search, should I get the physical, should I get the digital?
Right.
Because then that becomes a whole thing. Because at least if it's physical, yeah, it's a pain, you have to carry it. But
Right.
then at least you know if you can play it or not.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
it's on you or it's not on you.
Absolutely.
We got some comments.
Yes, we do. My dad is commenting. He says it's very intermittent, which makes sense because, but he's been watching Andor and Acolytes. Both of my parents happened together. Their Star Wars series on Disney Plus.
Everyone says I have to watch Andor.
Yeah,
Aaron
my
said it.
parents are obsessed with
Yeah.
it. I have yet to see it, but one of my favorite Star Wars movies is Rogue One, and Andor is like the prequel to it.
Okay.
But the main character, Jyn Erso, the main female character, isn't in it, so I'm kind of like, I don't need to see it. But I will eventually get around to it. Yeah, I hear it's really good. They love it.
Yeah, everyone says, like, even Brian Shelton, the advisor,
Yeah.
loves it, and he doesn't really follow a lot of that stuff. Apparently,
No.
he says it. That's when Matt shamed me and said, "You have to watch it because even Brian likes it." I'm like, okay.
Oh my god.
Just a quick reminder, you're listening to WHCM 88.3 FM, Palatine, Illinois, a broadcast station of Harper College and its Board of Trustees. The thoughts and ideas on this show are our own and not necessarily reflective of the opinions of WHCM, Harper College, or their Board of Trustees. It's a couple minutes late there for that little break, but it's also about time for us to wrap up.
It is.
At the same time. We could probably have 8 more episodes on our internet history because
Yeah.
I still have stuff I didn't even mention.
Same, and I feel like by the next time we have a show, I'll make some other ridiculous search, and we can laugh about it.
Yeah, and mind you, all of these searches had nothing to do with shows, but it just
Oh.
shows how much we stream at the same time, which is why this is the perfect show for us.
Yeah.
At the same time. I have no positive thoughts, other than the fact school is almost out. There's my positive thought.
There you go.
Let's get you are amazing.
That was awesome.
That was amazing.
Shout out, Caroline.
Yeah, school's almost out.
School's
It's
almost
summer's here, and it's chilly, but it's nice right now. I'm enjoying the weather.
Next week it's supposed to be like in the 70s.
Nice.
Positive thought. Yeah, I can't. School's almost over. I'm gonna crash out with nothing to do. Like, it's gonna all hit me at once, and I'm just gonna be like,
Yeah, you are going to probably be exhausted once it all ends. Like
Yeah.
once you get moved and
I know. I'm a little scared, honestly, but looking forward to it.
Thanks for listening to Streaming Verse here on WHCM. You can listen to our show Mondays and Thursdays at 7 p.m. Keep it tuned to WHCM. Up next, it is Andy with Mixtape. Thanks for listening.